Yeah, yeah. Sit back, relax, the world is wide. Close your eyes, take a mental ride. Classrooms in Paris, libraries in Milan. Where do you want to stand when the day dawns? Yeah. Is it Dublin's green or Barcelona's sun? Pick your place, the journey's begun. The study abroad portal, yeah. Dreaming, living anywhere. The study abroad portal, yeah. Life's changing, skies are fair.
Yes, welcome everybody, and thank you to joining this webinar where you are logged in to hear more about the programs from UCLL in Belgium. And we're going over to Belgium in Leuven, to be exact, in just a minute. My name is Luc Mulling, I'm the moderator of today. And as mentioned, you logged in to hear more about Europe's hidden gem and about the study and career opportunities. And you'll hear about those programs. And we have students actually telling their experiences about it as well. So great lineup for you. Now, if you have any questions, you can ask them at any time through the panel called questions. And by the way, you can by all means say where you're logging in from, as I can see already some people are doing. So that's great to see. Welcome from the different countries that, I see are joining. That's great. Besides the questions, we'll also have some polling questions. I will open these up throughout the session, so you are all welcome to interact with us. So please do let us know your feedback. And by the way, although some people might not be able to join live but watch the recording, you can all still participate and interact as well. So you can also answer the pollings and ask or even write your questions. So just to make sure about that. And last but not least, we have another interactive option, and that is a button at the bottom of the screen where you see it's called React. If you click on that, you can give a reaction of your choice. If you hear something you like, yes. And that's just a little bit more fun for the presenters because they cannot see you, but then you can interact with them. All right, let's get going. And we're going over to Leuven, as mentioned, where there's Federica and Shireen, and they will introduce themselves and then the rest of the panels. Good luck.
Thank you, Luke, for this introduction, and welcome everybody. I'm very happy to see many people from different countries that are here to know more about Leuven, and we are very excited to tell you all about this special city and our special university and why Leuven is a perfect place for you, not only as a study destination, but also a place where to boost your future life and your career. I am Federica. I'm a student journey officer here at UCLL. I'm not originally from Belgium. I'm from Italy. And actually, Shireen is also not from here. We are both internationals. And that's why we thought we were the perfect persons to tell you more about living here as an international, because we made Leuven our home and we created our story here. So we're very excited to share it with you. As I said, I'm very new to here, just arrived here 2 months ago. And before coming to Belgium, I was in very many different countries. I studied in China, United States, Denmark, Sweden, Iceland. So I was always used to this very international vibe, and I always met a lot of people from different countries. And when I got here to Leuven, I immediately clicked with this city because I thought that despite the fact that Leuven is very small, I was going to find a lot of international things to do, a lot of international restaurants with food from different cuisines to try, a lot of international people. So I felt like I was never going to run out of options here. And even if I'm used to this international vibe, always traveling around, being here in Leuven will be enough for me because I cannot move from here, but also be exposed to different countries. But now I'll give the word to Shireen. She will introduce herself and you will hear from her.
Hello, everyone. My name is Shireen. I'm the marketing specialist for the recruitment team, and I've been living here in Belgium for around 5 years. Originally, I'm from Cairo, Egypt, a very chaotic and busy city. You see, I've put a photo here of myself on my bike, and there's a reason. If you live in Belgium, you start to have a very special relationship with your bike. Because I'm from Egypt, you can imagine how much time we spend in traffic, waiting for Uber, for parking. It really takes a big part of your life. And then I came to Belgium and I was blown by how fast you can go from one place to the other in 5 minutes with your bike. It's really, really small. So you can go from one edge to the other in maybe 20 minutes with the bike. And that really saves a lot of time. And it's really such a relaxing thing to do at the beginning of your day. So that's why it's one of the things that I love the most about Belgium. I'm not gonna pretend it's all fairy tale because it rains around 70% of the time in Belgium, which is also something that is a big culture shock for me. But if you're prepared with a good rain jacket and a good equipment, you're good to go. For Belgium, it's not a problem. They bike in the rain and the snow, they bike carrying a mattress, a luggage, there are bigger boxes at the back of their bike. It's not a problem at all. You will be impressed when you come. But yeah, so for today, I would like to show you what else you can love about Belgium and if you can also make it your home. And helping us to give you a perspective of the student, we have we have 4 amazing ambassadors that will help you to get the perspective of students. We have Shay, he's from India, and he is in the 3rd year of computer science. But he also completed business management and marketing with UCLL, shows how much he loves us. And we have Yesenia, she's from Ukraine, and she's in the 2nd year of management and marketing. And finally, Nander, he's also business management and marketing, 3rd year, and joining us last minute, so I didn't put his photo, Joao, also from the 3rd year of computer science.
Okay, so we wanted to start this webinar by telling you more facts, maybe facts that you didn't know about Belgium. I think the first poll question is coming up. You should be able to see it on your screen and also to give us your answers. So we were curious to know when you think about Belgium, what's the first thing that comes to mind? We were curious to know that. But I can, of course, tell you more about did you know and fun facts. Because Belgium is a very small country, but it has a big personality. For example, starting with food, everybody, I think, knows about chocolate here in Belgium. It's very famous and very delicious. But also fries were invented here in Belgium. So be careful. They're not actually called French fries. If you say French fries here in Belgium, people will get mad at you because they're actually from here. They were invented here. So from now on, you should say Belgium fries. And of course, we have the delicious and very famous Lotus cookies. I didn't know they were from Belgium, actually. I just found out very recently that this brand is from Belgium. And then beer, of course. We have, I think, around 1,500 different kinds of beers here. So that means that you could be moving here and drink a different type of beer every day for 4 years. And still you're gonna be tasting new kind of beer. So this is very impressive. And of course, there's also celebrities, famous people, and pop icons that are from Belgium. For example, I didn't know at all that Audrey Hepburn is actually she was born in Brussels, so I had no idea about that. Of course, I knew about the Smurfs and Tintin. They're very famous. I grew up watching those cartoons. And Tomorrowland Music Festival, one of the biggest electronic music festival in the world, is from Belgium, was invented here, and it happens here every year. And then also Adolf Sax, he's the inventor of saxophone. So that's also a very impressive thing that I didn't know about Belgium. But now I would like to ask our ambassadors here. I'm curious to know what's your biggest and first cultural shock that you had when you first got here to Leuven in Belgium. I would like maybe to ask Yesenia this question.
Hi everyone. So for me, the biggest shock was like the buses because it's kind of small city, and also like it's in the center. It's really narrow city, so I was really surprised how like despite the fact that buses that road is really narrow, buses goes really fast and really efficient. So it was like my biggest surprise in Leuven.
Okay, that's nice. And what about Shay? What's your biggest culture shock?
I think for me it would be like a calendar, because in Leuven they have a calendar for afval, which is the waste, and they're like 4 different days, and you really have to be sure that you put the right trash on the right day, otherwise you're gonna get a fine. And also like certain hours after 10 p.m. and before 7 a.m. Because in my country there's like big bins where you drop everything, and here's like you have to be very strict with it.
Yes, I feel you. I think that was my first culture shock as well, and it's still a shock. I'm still like recovering from this. So yes, I feel you. Okay, we can keep going with the presentation. So we should start talking about Leuven itself. It's a perfect and a true student city. Like I said, when I first got here, I immediately felt this international vibe and energy. And here there's more than 190 countries, nationalities represented. So when you walk around, you will easily hear speaking different languages. You will see people that are coming from different countries. But what I also like is that at the same time, you will also start going outside, walking around the streets, and keep bumping into the same people, and really start seeing like familiar faces around. So you get this very cozy and safe environment around you, but still it's very cosmopolitan. And then, of course, like Shireen already mentioned, it's a very walkable and bike-friendly city, so you can reach any place very easily. And you don't need like to use public transportation. You can easily walk or use a bike. Leuven is also a very clean and green city, and that's always something very enjoyable. English is widely spoken. So when you first get here, when you don't know Dutch yet, and you want to ask questions, you want to meet people, make friends, using English will be perfectly fine anywhere you go. It doesn't matter if the person you're talking to is like a little kid or an older person, they will all understand you. But of course, learning Dutch is also something that it's like something we recommend. It's always nice to learn the language of the country you're living in. So you will be able to do that, no problems. There are a lot of concerts, festival, markets. Markets are my favorite here. There's like a market almost every day. You can find anything you want, secondhand clothes and flowers, food, different food stores. Like, it's very truly amazing. And of course, since there are so many students, I think most than half of the population here is made of students. There are a lot of cafes and student spots. So this is a very student cities. This city is like made for students and thought for students. And of course, if you get tired of Leuven, if you feel like you want to go beyond it and you want to explore more, the Brussels International Airport is only 15 minutes away. So you can just get on a train, and after, I think, 12 minutes, actually, you can reach the Brussels International Airport. And from there, you can reach any destination in Europe and even beyond Europe. And one last thing I wanted to share is that this is not only me saying this. It's not only me saying that Leuven is such an amazing place. But as you can see here in the slide, Leuven was awarded as the 33rd best student city in the world. And it was also European Capital of Innovation in 2020. And it will be European Capital of Culture in 2030. So it's not only us, but like many people have noticed how amazing Leuven is. I think there's a new poll question popping up now. The second question is why, when choosing a city to study abroad, which factor matters most to you personally? So you can try and answer this question. And in the meantime, I wanted to ask our ambassadors. Maybe I'll ask Joao and Nander this time. I wanted to know, what is your favorite thing about Leuven? Maybe we start with Joao.
So, well, for me, I think Leuven is very international. You're gonna meet people from everywhere, and it's extremely clean. That's something that I really love here. You can go out, you're gonna see the streets extremely clean. If you go to Brussels, it's not that clean. where Leuven is extremely clean and very international.
Yeah, I share this with you. Like, I also love all of these characteristics of Leuven. What about you, Nandor?
I like the same that Joe said, that it's very clean and also very safe. So people can go out at night and they don't have to worry about getting jumped by somebody.
Yeah, I think that's very important. You know, it's a very important thing to look. If you're moving abroad in a city, you want to study somewhere, this is a nice thing to know, for sure. Okay, moving on. So yes, now we should talk more about UCLL, particularly in specific. So why studied in Leuven, but why studying at UCLL? Well, UCLL is a public university of applied sciences. We have now almost 17,000 students studying here with us. We have 8 different campuses, but actually the one you will be studying in is the one in Leuven, so it's only one campus, and I think it's the most modern and international campus in Leuven. It's for sure the most international campus one, because our English taught programs are taught here. And our programs are profession oriented. So what we teach our students is we teach our students all the skills that will prepare them to be ready for their careers and to be qualified with everything that an employer is looking for. So this is something very unique that we offer. And of course, we're also part of KU Leuven Association. And for those who didn't know this, KU Leuven is one of the most famous and oldest university in Europe. So we're very proud of being part of KU Leuven Association. I think another question is coming up while we are showing you this picture. First of all, maybe we start asking our ambassadors. So we came back to Shay and Hisenia. We wanted to know, what is your favorite thing about UCLL? We can start with Hisenia.
So honestly, my favorite thing is about is that like we have the knowledge that we can in the campus already apply it and understand like in the future perspective how we can like the knowledge that we receive apply in real world. So for me, it was the most interesting and lovely thing in UCLL that ever.
Yeah, I agree. It is indeed something very unique that UCLL is offering. So I'm glad you also find that true and that you enjoy it. What about you, Shay?
I think UCLL also offers a lot of opportunities with like, it has a lot of collaboration with other universities, and people visit us from other universities. We go to other universities, which I find very nice to get a more broader exposure.
Nice. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Okay, I think the third question is coming up, the poll question. So what's the real reason you choose to study in Leuven? Maybe now you already have some more information and you will be able to reply to this question and let us know what you think. But now I'll give the floor to Shireen and she will tell you more about our programs.
Hi again. So I will start with the first program that you can study here, which is business management and marketing. We have 2 programs, and I think our programs are really special and global. And I know a lot of people say this, but I will try to convince you why this one is really global. So this is one of the very few programs that give you the opportunity to choose 2 tracks. So when you're studying business management, you can choose to do a track across Europe. Now we didn't change the name yet because now it's more global because we added Colombia and we're adding South Africa in the upcoming year. So this one gives you the opportunity to study every year in a different country, in a different university. So you can imagine the amount of experience that you will have throughout all these 3 years. Or you can choose to study in Belgium. So even if you choose Belgium, it's still a very international and enriching experience because we have a lot of partner universities. So you can choose to do one of your years with one of our partner universities and get a double degree. We have the international weeks, which is all our partner universities, they come together and work on a project. All the students are working on like a kind of a competition, and you're competing with a lot of other universities, and then you can win. And the projects are actually made by international companies, so real world cases. You also get the opportunity to do an exchange semester anywhere in the world. And as part of your study program, you also can do an internship in Belgium or in a different place in the world, which is all very, makes you very exposed, and it makes you learn a lot during your 3 years of study. Apart from that, the program itself, I think it's really special because we have a lot of quality based on our association with Leuven, but we also try to be up to date with global trends. One of the most challenging one now is AI. We're really trying to keep up, but it's changing every day, and we want our students to have everything needed now to find their jobs later on. Our focus is not research, but more hands-on learning. So you learn by doing. So you will learn from real world cases, working with companies, working on case studies, and you're sitting in a class with everybody from a different nationality. I think we have around 60% of the class international at least, and then you have some Belgians. So you also get a little bit of the national feeling with the international feelings. You learn about Belgium. All our staff members, they are coming from the field. So they are actually coming from real companies. When you study in Leuven, again, Federica shared with you some of the good things about Leuven, but it's really one of the best student cities I've seen so far. We have, you can see also some of our partner universities in Finland, France, Germany, Hungary. So you can also have some exchange with these universities, and you can be more abroad. I will not go into details into what we study exactly in the curriculum, because we have another webinar, November the 12th. So I invite you all, if you're interested to know more, to come there, because then you will meet also our program managers and some of our lecturers to see exactly what do we teach in these programs. But for now, I will just give you the headlines. And then the other track, the studying in Europe. So again, the highlights, you get the chance to learn many languages. Every country you go to is a different language. You get the chance to challenge yourself living in a different country every year and adapting to a new environment and a new work culture. So it makes you really strong, resilient person when you start your career. And then the next program, so we have the management and marketing, and the next one is computer science. There we don't yet, maybe in the future, have the global track, but we have the Belgium track, which also offers you the opportunity to do your internship in Belgium or abroad, the opportunity to do a double degree, international weeks, exchange semesters. And again, it's a field that allows you to work anywhere in the world in any field. So it's one of the most in-demand fields right now. Here also a little bit details about that, but I will let the details for the next webinar. And now, what can you do upon graduation when you study at UCLL? So these are a few of the options. So after studying at UCLL, you can directly try to find a job and enter the job market. You will already have a very strong experience and degree, or you can choose to do masters. So there you will have or not to do a bridging program, and this is depending on where you're going to do your master, in which country, so they have different demands. Or you can do one extra advanced bachelor and then at the end go to the job market. And just to give you a few examples of what our alumni are doing. So we have around 6 generations graduated from the business management, and the first generation of computer science will be graduated this year. And what they are doing now, we have a person working as a senior account executive at LinkedIn. We have e-commerce client relationship at Hermes. We have one of our students doing their internship with BMW. We have senior associate at BWC. We have students who chose to do their own startup. We have a founder of a media agency called Media Munch. So the opportunities are really endless. You can do whatever you want after graduation. And then now we come to the question of the entire presentation. Why is it that Belgium is really this hidden gem for study and career opportunities? Because it's not the most famous one, and it's not the one people immediately think of when they are trying to find an opportunity abroad. But I think it's a really nice option because, first of all, we are competitive in terms of price. Belgium is one of the most affordable universities in Europe, but at the same time, you get a really high quality education. When you are studying here, you can also choose to do a student job. As a student, you can work 20 hours per week, and during holidays, you can work full-time, so you can support yourself a little bit. Upon graduation, the government gives you 1-year visa, so it's called search visa, for you to launch your career, to start looking for jobs, and if you find you can stay in Belgium, you can choose to also leave. And we're really close from Brussels, which is the capital of the European Union, and that makes it really a central hub for all political and economical activities in Europe. So there's a lot of opportunities for international people because it's a very international field, gathering all the European countries. And we also have a lot of international companies based in Belgium, which means a lot of job in English. So you can also find easily a job in English, or if you choose to learn the language, of course, you will have even more options. So here, I will have another poll question for you. And the question is, Belgium is often called Europe's best kept secret, and why do you think that is? So you will have some options to choose from. And while you are also answering this poll, I would like to ask our ambassadors, what do you like to do in the future, and how do you think UCLL can help you with this? And maybe let's start with Joao.
So I hope we're gonna get a job in my field. I got an internship for next semester, and so that will help me because the professors have a lot of contacts and they know a lot of companies, so they can recommend you, they can give you tips and help you out with that. I was in doubt between 2 companies that I passed the interview, and I talked to my professor, and then he oriented me to go for the one I've chosen. So yeah, that's a good part. One of the good part of UCLL, they know a lot of the job market.
Indeed, that's one of the things we're also very proud of, our relationship with the real job market. We know a lot of companies, we work on with them during the studies and also during the internship. So it's something that I think adds a lot to students. And Nandert,
I want to work somewhere regarding communication and marketing, and I feel that UCLL gives you a lot of opportunities to practice this with the hands-on classes and courses. So when you actually start working and do your internship, you're not really lost, and you have already a strong base for your work knowledge.
That's true. We try as much as possible that all of our courses are hands-on and more practical. I will also give the floor to Shay and Yesenia to answer this question. So we can start with Shay.
So I do want to study more, and I think UCL provides a good platform to have a good bachelor's degree, and also integrates you with the Belgian culture, with all these activities, and it's like a stepping step to go and pursue more educational pursuits if you have.
Nice. Yeah. After 2 bachelors, you can also study more. And Yesenia?
I did the same idea. I really would like to pursue master degree. Like for now, I'm not sure that I'm going to do a bridge program in Leuven, and afterwards also obtain my master degree in university.
Okay, that's really nice. Of course, a master degree is one of the paths that you can choose and then find a job later on. Okay, I will give the floor back to Federica to move on with the presentation.
Yes, so we really hope that what we just shared with you sparked an interest and that maybe you want to know more about UCLL and our programs and other things that are related to studying here. So you can see here an overview of all the upcoming webinars. The first one is coming on November 12th. So you think you're already able to sign up for this webinar, but of course we're gonna keep publishing new details in our websites. And to be always informed and to get the latest news, you can also scan this QR code and you can enroll to our newsletter. And so yes, you won't miss anything. So we'll let you know about everything that is going on. And I think another poll question is coming up. I think it's the last one of today. So we wanted to know what is your main motivation for studying abroad? Again, maybe now that you heard all of this from us, maybe you change your mind or you have maybe different answers compared to what you were going to answer 30 minutes ago. So we were curious to know your answers about this. So you can take some time to give us your answers, and also to scan the QR code. And just, I think this slide is very important, very detailed, so you can take some time to read it. Yes, okay. And yes, we also wanted to not only tell you the email addresses that you can contact people regarding with questions regarding application and admissions, or also other kind of questions, but we also wanted to show you the faces of the people that are behind the desk and the keyboard answering to your questions. So Anna and Mine for the admission office, they are going to be there to answer all of your questions about application requirements, admission, and all of that. And for all other questions, Nadia, she's our international student recruiter. She's also she's going to be very happy to answer all of your questions and help you out, because we know it's a very important time of your life when you have a lot of doubts, a lot of questions, and it's always nice to have somebody that can help you out with that. So you could also take notes and write your question, the email addresses down, so you know who to contact. And then, yes, we also have our students on Instagram. So we have an Instagram page for the BBM program, and one for the BCS program, and also one for the BME program. And also we have the Insignia International Student Association at UCLL. Actually, Shay is the president of the Insignia International Student Association. And we are always trying to organize a lot of activities and a lot of events for all international students, because it's very important to build a community here. And when you first arrive here and you don't know anybody around you, you don't know how to spend your free time, maybe you feel lonely, you're a bit homesick. We're also working a lot on that. We're trying to create like a big family, because studies are important, but also the free time is very important. And we put a lot of value on that. Okay, and I think now we are ready for the Q&A session. Actually, our ambassadors are the best people that can help you and can answer your questions. So we are also going to be here, but our ambassadors are going to be the one answering your questions, and if you need more information, we also need, of course.
Great, thank you already. And I'm back to read out the questions from the audience. So we'll go over those. Just to mention though, also for the people watching the recording, because I know these days a lot of students do, they watch the recording rather than being here live, because they're of course also busy with studies, I guess. But also to know that you can write your questions and also still answer the poll questions. Now, question from Suhaib, if I say that right. What is the tuition fee per year for the undergraduate? And also asking about scholarships available for international students. I think Federica probably, or Shirin.
Yes, I think this is a question for us. So unfortunately, we do not offer scholarships, but our fees are not very high. So you can see on the program page the exact breakdown of fees. I think it's around 5,800 per year. And then you might have extra costs for your study material and your life in Leuven and so on.
Okay.
So
I just put on the screen also the application portal. So just for you to know, that's the link that just popped up. Go ahead. You wanted to add something, Shelly?
I think that's okay. If you have more questions about the fees, you can ask. If someone of the...
Yeah, I think there was another question. Let me see. Well, I'll go over that. There was another question first of Suhaib. Suhaib was asking, can I apply with a letter of medium of instruction instead of IELTS or TOEFL? So I guess the medium of instruction was English, I assume.
Yeah, I think this question is mainly for our admission office. I'm not familiar with this test, but I think SAT or TOEFL are the ones we use right now. But if it's something specific, please ask admission. So I can put also the email of the admission again in the chat box so people can contact them.
Yeah, so here's also the specific emails. Normally, yeah, I think it's quite common, from my knowledge, the IELTS is for the English test, that if your medium of instruction is English, that you do not need that, but you need to show that proof normally. But check with the admissions. The admission requirements, Jana was asking. So I think that was the link that I sent, but I don't know if Federica or Shirin, you want to add something about the admission requirements?
Yeah, so this is also, again, another specific question for admission, but the basic one would be a degree that allows you to do university from your home country, the English test, and the GPA. So the exact things, because we also have some regional specific admission requirements and some country specific. So for these, I would invite you to visit our website. And if you don't find your answer, contact the admission office.
Okay. Good, thank you. A question from Enis. In how many months do you know can I get a job on average? Now, I don't know if you can say something about that, but it probably depends on which course as well, and that's probably a difficult one, but I don't know what you're...
I can say from my own experience, I came to Leuven during COVID. And then once I started looking for a job until I found, it was around 3 months. But it depends on which field, which city, I wanted the job really close to my home. So also your requirements for the job. I don't know if one of the students also would like to share their experience.
Yeah.
With their student jobs.
For me, I got a student job in 1 month here. So
Good. Well, thank you. If you want to add something else later, anyone, just go ahead. Muskan, in the meantime, has a question asking, can I apply with my predicted IB diploma scores as I don't have my diploma yet?
What kind of diploma is it again? Sorry.
IB, so I guess international business.
Again, that's a question for admission. But what I know is that if you don't have your degree yet, you can have this conditional admission letter, and then you can start your process with this admission letter. And once you have your degree, you can send it to us.
Great. Okay, thank you. And the next question from Amiran, what are the admission requirements for applied computer sciences? So I guess that's also specific.
Yeah, what we like to say is that you don't have to have any prior coding skills. So anybody can join. We start really from scratch. And for the exact requirements, I would ask you again to check the website. We have a page for the requirements, and then they are all listed there. If the students also want to share something about the requirements, something that was, yeah.
So there's a link as well. And yeah, go ahead.
I mean, they also, for computer science, they will take an intake interview because they want to know that you're motivated enough to follow the degree through. Because in Flanders, they are very strict with students passing all the courses. So if you don't pass all the courses within 2 years for any degree, you are not allowed to study in Flanders for 5 years. The same amount of course and this is from the Flemish Education Ministry. So that's why they do an intake interview for computer science. So if you're going to apply, there will be an intake interview. But as Shireen said, there's not really required prior knowledge of computer science. If you have it, obviously it's a plus. But it's just more for your motivation and what you can expect, from the study program.
Great. Thank you. Anyone else want to add something to that? Admission requirements? No? All right. Then just check the link and you'll find more information there. We have a couple more questions actually. Lois had a question. What type of student clubs do you have? Now, students can probably say something about the student clubs, right?
Well, we have Insignia, and I'm the president of Insignia. We are official UCL student club for international students, and also for Belgians themselves as well. And we organize a lot of activities. So we try to make a home away from home for students. I send a link in the chat. So if you go through the link, it's an Instagram account of Insignia, and you can see all the previous activities that we organized. We exist from 6 years now, and yeah, all our members have come from different backgrounds, and it's a very diverse group. We had an activity today as well, like in the afternoon, we had an activity with a food stall for Halloween, and then I came home, and then I have this meeting.
Okay, so busy day. Any other student clubs that the others know about? It doesn't mean that you are in them, but maybe you know of a couple.
We also have the ambassadorship program. So maybe one of the students also can talk a little bit about that one.
Well, the ambassadors are students who would like to do a bit more for the uni. You have academic ambassadors who mainly work for the class. So they would organize programs for the class. They cooperate with other class academic ambassadors to create cross-class programs. You have program ambassadors who want to do events for the uni. So for example, us being here as an academic ambassador, we also work together to create ad videos for webinars, for upcoming events, etc. And there are social media ambassadors who are students from both programs and every year who would like to manage social media account, mainly Instagram, and create content for the other ones like Facebook and LinkedIn.
Okay. Great. Thank you, Nandor, as well. We have, another question from Muskan. Do I need English proof? So the proof of English.
Yes.
Yes. And do you know about the scores or anything about that? Or should I check the emissions?
Yeah, just to be sure, because sometimes they change from year to year. So the best is to check right now on the website, because I think it changed this year. So on the requirement page.
Okay. Good. Amy had a question. How much SAT points do we need for applying to computer science?
Yes, I would also say the same. Just to be sure that it's most up to date, you can check the requirement page on the website. It has the most updated information.
Great. And then for now, the last question we received is about student accommodation. Is there a student accommodation, or do you provide help, or how do they go about it?
We do provide guidance and help, and we have the help of KU Leuven as well, because we work together for the housing. We don't have dedicated housing from UCLL, so we don't have university housing, but we have a concept called student cot. So basically, half of the city is student cots. So because there's a lot of students here, and there are specific portals that you can go to check the housing that works with you. It can be a room or co-housing or a shared house. And I think our students also can give insights about their own student housing and how they find it.
Yes.
Was it
So
difficult?
normally,
Yeah.
I mean, Leuven is it's a small city, and we have a lot big student population. So if you apply and you get accepted, I would recommend to find housing as soon as possible. KU Leuven, because we are a KU Leuven associated university, you can also apply to KU Leuven student residences. They're like a couple. And for that, the application starts in March. And the deadline is March itself as well, because it starts and everyone books it and then it's full. So if you want to have a residence from the University of KU Leuven, which is also the parent university of UCLL, you can do that. Otherwise, you can go through Facebook groups for private housing. But with private housing, you have to be careful that with like the landlords and stuff, like they give you the right contract and you have your rights protected and stuff like that. But we do have housing webinars from UCLL that will happen later in the year. So if you want to know more information about it, you feel free to attend that.
Okay. And for the other students, anyone want to share maybe the experience of finding an apartment or a room?
So like now I'm in my second year. First year I found room in the private market. So I really advise to search best in January or in February, begin to search for room. In March and April it becomes the peak, because in March, for example, it's a lot of people already like it's like March, April, like from my own experience, it's the peak of starting the room. So I would advise like really take time and to look in different options because a lot of big competition and not big competition and not so much options for students.
Perfect. Thank you. Any last comment about that?
I do also want to add.
Yeah.
I do also want to add, because you know that there's a housing crisis in Leuven. It is strictly recommended that if you don't have housing, don't come to Leuven, especially on K Leuven's website, because it's really, really, really hard to find housing in Leuven after, let's say, June or something. I mean, you can get lucky and find it. But if you don't, I know some people are living in Brussels because of it, and then they have to commute from Brussels to Leuven every day or go to other cities. So it's like, if you want to come to Leuven and you made your mind, it's very nice if you started as soon as possible to look for housing.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, as Shay said, there's housing webinars happening in collaboration with KU Leuven. We have one webinar happening every month. So you can also register to our mail, our newsletter, and then you will get invited to those housing webinars. They're really, really helpful because they guide you. If you find also something on the private markets, they can check with you the contract and how much you're paying and everything to make sure that you're getting everything is correct.
Good. So do check out the website, and yeah, the link, basically the general link to the admission portal, you can find under links on the apps, actually, on the bottom. So there you can find that, and yeah, through that you will get also to the website, and you can find more about housing as well. It is mentioned there. So I think that wraps up pretty much all the questions that we've. Yeah, that's all the questions. Let me just check. The one of English we already answered. So I hope that's all clear. And if there's any last question from anyone, let us know. Then we'll take it. And otherwise, we round up the session. And I actually have.
I wanted to add very quickly,
Yeah,
if we could go back to the incoming webinar slide, because since a lot of questions were about application and admissions, yeah, yes,
Yeah.
in March we have a webinar that is going to be focusing specifically on admission, visa, housing, and more. So since I noticed that a lot of questions were about this, I think it's very important for prospective students to join this webinar. So people that will actually be there and are like professional about this can help you and give you more detailed answers. So I think it's very important to register for this webinar and be there.
Yeah, you have 2 moments to meet admission in December.
Oh yeah.
And then again in March.
Yeah, so check out the schedule. From the QR code, you can get the link to there as well. And yeah, the next upcoming session is with us, so the November 12th webinar. The link you find in the chat. So that's where it's available as well. Good. Well, thank everyone for your participations. I have a last question for the audience. So how well did you feel the session went? So you can grade us now. Give a grade to all the speakers, and yeah, well, what you found of the whole session. So let us know. If you want to add something, that's fine. And with that, I'd like to just say and thank everyone for joining. So first of all, Federica and Sherin, thank you very much for your time and being available. And of course, all the students. So Yesenia, Zhao, Shay, and Nandor, thanks a lot for your time and your insights into how it is to study there. I'm sure that's very valuable to students who are looking to do the same as you're doing now, and to maybe join in Leuven next year. So yeah, having said that, thanks everyone for having joined, and good afternoon or good evening or good morning, wherever you are. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.